So why do people tend to put off doing something about a hearing problem? Well, I think one of the reasons is that the stereotype of the big beige banana hearing aid is reasonably firmly planted in people's minds, right? It's completely outdated. I haven't fit a big beige banana for over 20 years, right? Most of the devices that we work with are if not completely invisible, really discreet and quite sophisticated. So I think that people are putting off taking action partially for cosmetic reasons, right? Of which there's always a cosmetically acceptable solution. Sometimes we've got a trade-off in performance, but cosmetics shouldn't be really a barrier for doing nothing. Another reason why I find that people put off doing something about a hearing problem is for some people it can be an admission to aging, that this is a step that perhaps a senior person would make, and for those that really could benefit from addressing their hearing loss, that delay it, quite often it's because their self-concept hasn't actually caught up with their actual age, right? And part of that does come down to cosmetics as well. What kind of sign is this going to give to the outside world about kind of who I am? But I have to say that most people I see are pleasantly surprised when they see what we can actually do and how discreet and effective the devices actually are. I think another barrier too comes back to the fact that a lot of hearing devices are stuck in the top drawer, and typically people that I see in my clinic are quite well aware of their friends or family that have invested in hearing devices that aren't being used. So for good reason, there's a hesitancy, and typically people that aren't wearing their hearing devices, well, they're not wearing them for a reason, because they're either uncomfortable or perhaps not set up properly, or they just haven't got used to them. So there is a bit of bad press, I guess, about hearing devices. But in my experience, when the correct solution has been selected and the patient has been nurtured through an acclimatization period to the point where they're keeping them in full time, everything just works so much better. But that's the exception to the rule, right? We know that the majority of people that are being fitted with hearing devices, that hasn't been their experience, and it tends to, I think, dissuade people who really could benefit from actually taking any action at all.